I'm encountering a situation here where I'm getting numerous people writing comments on my videos, which is fine. I set the videos up so they could take comments. Although I'm going to point out, I put it under an approval status. And the reason I did that, there's a couple of things or numerous things basically, I don't really want to deal with on comments here. One of them is people coming in and asking for medical advice. And I can't give medical advice. I actually don't think people should be trying to get their medical advice online from anyone, even physicians that they don't know. If someone is having a medical question, something that's happening to them, they should be dealing with a doctor in their real life who knows them, who has their history. I mean, as qualified as a physician may be to understand certain things, if they don't have a full history, and again, when you're dealing with someone online, they're not asking you, they're not ascertaining all the information. You're giving them, bits and pieces, but not the full picture. So I really want people who are looking for medical advice to be dealing with someone who is qualified, and then also who has the ability to really get more information than necessarily that they're just giving. So I don't want to deal with medical questions. I won't. And so I'm not allowing those questions to appear on the board. Another thing is I feel like people are going to try to spam the board. I have a video already about e-cigarettes, and if you go watch that video, I kind of hit into that on that aspect. And then there's people, again, it's directly addressing people who are coming in who are really trying to profit off a product, and they're going to try to do it, where they can reach people who are interested in, quitting smoking. And why not go to a site like this or any site? At Why Quit, we just don't have any sponsors, and we have total control over what it's posted there. And even at the Freedom from Nicotine site, if someone comes in and posts anything that's close to a product recommendation of anything, it doesn't have to be a quit smoking product, that's going to get removed. So same thing applies here. If somebody mentions a product, a service, a book, they could be trying to sell that product, that book, that service, and it's just not going to happen. But then there's also, again, a very well-meaning individual who's going to post here, or type of individual. And they're going to have a product or service that they're not profiting off of, so they don't feel like this is a conflict. But bottom line, if you go through what I put out at Why Quit, what we've done at Freedom, you'll notice something. We don't charge anything. We don't endorse anything. My bottom line feeling has always been people do not need to spend a penny to quit smoking. What I put out online, I've tried to put out everything that I could think of that really will help people quit smoking. They don't have to spend anything. They don't have to pay it to us. They don't have to pay it to anybody else. Uh, Got to point out, most people who quit, the vast majority, have not seen any of our material, have not seen anybody's material. They just quit smoking on their own. We're giving them, our viewers, more than those people had, and those people were totally successful without it. So if questions get posted, and I think some of the videos, and I'm not even sure which ones, a lot of the original videos, I didn't even put comments or questions capability in there because I was trying to avoid this from happening. I mean, I'm trying to avoid what happened when I went online. When I went online, all of a sudden I'm getting emails all the time of people with questions, and I was tied to my computer in the beginning trying to answer these questions. At some point, I was up where I was getting, dozens of emails every single day, and there were days I think where we had almost like 100 some emails and maybe more. So I actually stopped answering emails, and it's the same process in a sense I'm doing here. If people have questions, if they go to whyquit.com, if they go to the Freedom site, there's an index of questions, index of articles of addressing specific things. Actually, one of the things prompting this was a couple of days ago. Somebody put up or tried to put up a post, I didn't really go through, that I was actually going to try to address. And what I was going to do was link over, because I had specific answers that would be easy for me to just link to the articles. But then when I went to try to put the link in, you can't post links in these responses, which meant for me to answer anything, I was going to have to put it in fresh, and I was limited to 500 characters. And you know what? None of the responses that I have in my articles are going to fit into a 500 character response. So I just realized this was not a venue that I could do this with. Even if I wanted to answer questions with a 500 character limit, I couldn't. But the fact is, I don't want to be tied to a computer again, 365 days a year all the time, trying to address certain people and not address any other people. So comments, I'm just letting them go. If comments don't have anything controversial, they're going to stay up there. And again, most of the comments are thank yous and things like that. And I'm just going to leave them stay on. I mean, there are times I feel like I'd like to, add a little bit to it, but I'm not going to, because if I add the some and then I don't add the others, I'm slighting everybody, and I don't want to do that. So anyway, I'm going to use this video as, I'm not sure how I'm going to do this yet, but if somebody posts a question that I can't answer, but I figure the only place they're going to be able to see my responses, or where they're going to look, is where they posted that comment. Well, hopefully they'll see this video. We'll address why I didn't answer that question, whether it been a medical question, whether it endorsed a product, a service, a book, whatever it is, whatever kind of tactic it was taking that I don't want to use this channel to deal with, I'll attach this video to it. So, okay, hope everybody understands, doesn't take this personally, why I'm not answering their questions. The only question, my only answer generally to most things, though, is, quitting smoking is going to be something that's going to be good for yourself. You're going to benefit from it, and you're going to be able to sustain a quit by sticking to a personal commitment to never take another puff.